A 10-term incumbent Democratic member of Congress from Massachusetts has lost his seat tonight in an upset win in a Democratic primary. We turn to the great Steve Kornacki for more. Steve, what has happened here?
This is at 10 terms. It's stunning. Michael Capuano losing to Ayanna Pressley. A couple things to draw your attention to. Number one, Michael Capuano, you say 10 terms. Think of it this way. In 1998, when he was elected, he won a 10-way Democratic primary with 22% of the vote. Never faced a serious challenge after that. And then this year, lo and behold, city councilor from Boston, Ayanna Pressley, runs against him. There were not huge ideological differences in this race. This was about the idea. She did certainly position herself as being more aggressively anti-Trump than Capuano, but a lot of this, too, had to do with the changing demographic character, the changing political character of this district. How about this? The history of this seat. This is a historic seat in Congress that Capuano has held. Here is the lineage. James Michael Curley, John F. Kennedy, Tip O'Neill, Joe Kennedy II, Michael Capuano, and now this will be the first African-American woman ever to represent Massachusetts in Congress, Ayanna Pressley. This is an overwhelmingly Democratic district. By winning this primary, she is as good as elected in November. From Tip O'Neill and James Michael Curley, the Democratic Party now embracing Ayanna Pressley as its new face in this district.
And, Steve, in terms of Ayanna Pressley's victory tonight, we knew that she was endorsed by Maura Healey, who's the state AG, who's seen as a real rising star in Democratic politics and a big deal in Massachusetts Democratic politics, which, of course, has a Republican governor, right? Massachusetts is a blue state with a very popular Republican governor, Charlie Baker. You say this is a sure thing. Does this reflect any other trends in terms of Massachusetts Democrats and endorsements and who she's associated with?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because most of sort of the establishment in Massachusetts, the Democrats, they did rally around Capuano in this race. Maura Healey, the AG, and going with Pressley, she was more going on her own in that. There were some other incumbents who were challenged in Massachusetts tonight. It looks like they've survived. Richard Neal, the congressman from Western Mass. Steve Lynch, a more moderate, even conservative Democrat from South Boston. It looks like they've survived. But this one, wow, Mike Capuano, 20 years in Congress, never a serious challenge. All of a sudden, loses by double digits at this point.
Steve Kornacki, thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow. Now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Good evening, Rachel. And you and Steve talking about my old neighborhoods tonight and that congressional race. Fine with me. You could keep going. You know, I ran into Ayanna Pressley in Massachusetts a few weeks ago, and she told me unofficially off the record that they had polling inside their campaign that was more positive than the public polling, which showed her significantly behind. And, you know, candidates always tell you that.
Yeah.
I always say our private polls look better, but she was very convincing about it. And that district in all the iterations that Steve was describing, from when it was JFK's district to Tip O'Neill's district up to Capuano's district, those borders have changed a lot on that district and the way it weaves its way now around Boston, through Boston. But this is the new face of Boston. It is an amazing and kind of wonderful thing to see for someone like me who grew up in a strictly segregated city where this was impossible.
To see Michael Capuano tonight give that concession when only about, I think only 11 or 12% of the vote was in. At this point, at the time he started conceding, we didn't even have a call of the election from the Associated Press or anybody else. But clearly, when she told you that her polling was better than you might expect from the public information, he must have been looking at some of that same stuff, because they knew right out of the gate that they were toast. And it looks like she's going to win by a lot. Yeah,
and they were looking at neighborhoods that he was supposed to do much better in, and they saw him getting crushed in neighborhoods that he was supposed to win. And so it was a pretty obvious way to read it at that point. But, Rachel, trying to squeeze this in a news day that includes everything that it has included, including your great interview with John Kerry. This has been quite an hour that you've just been through, and now I'm going to try to squeeze an awful lot of stuff into the next
duck
hour.
Out.
Okay.
Bye, Lawrence.
Thank you, Rachel.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.